Hey guys, again, for like the fourth time today, I think, maybe third time at least. I'm here with another video, and this one is going to be a coming of age TBR update. A little while ago, I said that I was going to read a bunch of coming of age novels, and then I took a break for October. November, I'm probably gonna start back up on the coming of age TBR. I just want to finish one good book. I just need to get one solid 5-star read out of the way, and so then I can get back to reading possibly crappy books. Do I think they're going to be crappy? No, because I love coming of age novels. I just need to prepare myself for crappy books. So I've been reading a lot of kind of 2 to 3 star books lately. And I kind of want a 5-star book right now because I'm in a funk and I need to break that funk. So that's why I'm reading The Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker. It will be my first Clive Barker read, and I'm very excited for it. I'm taking a break from a lot of things to read this book. It's a novella, so I wouldn't say book, but it's 172 pages long, I believe. So it should be fun. I think it's like a 2-hour read. So we'll see how long it takes me. It'll probably take me a few days because I only get like 5 minutes a day to read. So, but let me show you guys what I have on the list for the TBR. We'll start off with this book because I started reading it a long time ago, and I found out it was a coming of age novel in a sort of way. Yeah, I mean, not a sort of way, but it is a coming-of-age novel. And I had to stop it, and I basically said I'm going to DNF it. So I think I'm going to resurrect it from the DNF pile and continue reading it maybe next year. But that's Abomination by Michael C. Norton. It's a very interesting story. And I was having fun reading it, especially the hilarious brother masturbating scene. I thought that was like torture to read, but it was funny at the same time. So, you know, but yeah, this book I might resurrect from the DNF pile. But that's just one book in the coming of age TBR. I didn't feel like finishing it. There's like a lot of pages left, so it's not like I made it that far. I think I made it like 160 pages. Not even close. 114 pages. I made it 114 pages into the book and was like, I gotta put this down because the interesting parts were when he was a kid, you know, and I feel like that just went by so quickly. And this book goes throughout this whole guy's life, you know, when he was a kid all the way to when he's an adult. So it's going through all the teenage stuff, you know, and I don't care for those parts, and that's why I stopped the book. I was like, I wish I had more of the child, you know, innocent coming of age, you know, part. You know, I found that stuff interesting, and then the book kind of flatlined when he started getting older. So I might resurrect it from the DNF pile, but for now it's in the DNF pile for coming of age books I didn't finish. And this next book I have in the TBR, I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure about it because someone told me recently that that it's outside. Oh, maybe she took James for a walk. Anyways, I went I posted online a book haul. And I think it was Are You Into Horror commented on it saying that the book wasn't that, or maybe it was Cunningham. I'm getting names mixed up at the moment. I can't remember who said it, but someone on my channel in the comments said that this book was not that great. Then I had someone later on tell me that the book is fascinating. So I'm like, I got two different sides of the coin. So I don't know if it's going to be good or not. It's definitely a read. I think it's coming in at 600 pages. Let me see. No, I was wrong. I've been wrong a lot lately. This comes in at 519 pages, so it's still a big book. It's just, you gotta dedicate yourself to read this thing, you know? My dog's being adorable. She's just laying on my pillow and sleeping. But it's the Horror Club by Mark Morris. Basically, I believe it's about a group of kids who make a horror club based on their favorite horror movie monsters and stuff like that. And then one day a new kid comes into town and they invite him into the group, and then stuff goes down, I guess. I don't know much about the book, so that's why I'm going to read it. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, because I know someone said on my channel that they didn't care for it and it was a waste of time, kinda. I don't remember exactly what they said about it. They just said it wasn't that great, and I think they even might have said don't bother with it. I don't remember though. Then I had someone say, oh, it's a good book, you know, you should give it a try. So I'm like, I don't know what to think about this book. All I know is once I start reading it, it's gonna be a while till I finish it. So it's kind of at the bottom of the TBR pile. But I thought I'd mention this first before I get into other stories. There's no order to what I'm going to read. I didn't make an order yet. I just kind of pick up a book and start reading it, and if it catches me, I continue reading it. I don't know what it is about me, but subgenres, this subgenre, coming of age, is my favorite. I just love coming of age, and that's kind of all I write, you know? I find myself writing coming of age stories a lot, so I guess maybe it's because I didn't, that's a thing for a writing vlog. We're talking about my coming of age TBR, and yeah, The Horror Club by Mark Morris. Tell me what you guys think about that book. I honestly don't know what to think about it. I'm going to start reading it soon. Well, it's at the bottom of the pile, so not soon, but it's going to be a book I'm going to get into maybe next year, probably around summertime. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I might also take a break from this TBR to do a let's see if I can get this right, Camathon. And that's a reading marathon of two Camerons. Cameron Chaney and Cameron Rubik, I believe his name is. And we're gonna read Kill River and Autumn Crow, I think it is. So I might take a break from whatever I'm doing, just drop it and read these stories. The thing is, I need to make sure I can purchase these books because money's tight right now. So you've been seeing some book hauls lately. Those have been like unprecedented book hauls. Like, I shouldn't have gone to the bookstore, but I did. I won't be doing book hauls for a while, I don't think, unless of course I like pass my GED. Then I'm gonna reward myself, you know. But or if I get a job, I'll reward myself. But book hauls won't be on my channel for very long, for a while, I should say. You might see more collection videos. You might see more writing vlogs. I'll do some writing vlogs and talk about where I'm at with writing, and then I'll do reviews. So there'll be other videos to keep you guys entertained if you guys entertain yourself with my videos. Hopefully you find my videos entertaining, because if you don't, then what the hell am I doing? But anyways, The Horror Club by Mark Morris is at the bottom of the TBR, and then this book, I don't know where it is, but it's in the TBR, and that's Dean Koontz's, or Dean R. Koontz's, The Voice of the Night. And this book is about these two friends. One's kind of like your normal kid, and the other one's like everybody loves this guy or this kid, and he gets away with a lot of stuff. He's kind of a bad boy, and he likes to hurt animals and stuff like that. So basically he's like a serial killer in the making. And I guess it's about, I don't know what it's really about from there on out. I should read the back, but we'll read the backs in a later coming of age TBR. But for now, let's continue on. And this book right here might be closer to the top of the TBR than the other ones. And that's Christopher Golden's Straight On Until Morning, or Till Morning. What this book is about, I have no idea. I didn't bother to read the back when I bought it, but it's basically about these kids kidnap this girl and they try to go save her. So I guess that's what it's about. I just skimmed through the summary. I don't want to keep you guys waiting too long. But yeah, that's on the TBR. There's a book in this pile that I'll get to in a second here that I'm thinking about removing because it just doesn't sound interesting to me. It sounds more like a fantasy book than a horror book, so I might just kind of kick it to the curb. But yeah, I'll talk to you in a second. Right now, we're going to talk about a book by Douglas Clegg. I believe that's how you say his name, and that's Neverland. Don't get it mixed up with Michael Jackson, y'all. Neverland. It's about a kid who goes and finds a door, I guess, to a Neverland. Bayou Jackson joins his cousin Sumter in strange, sinister games, rituals that grow into sickening explosion of pure evil. So basically, yeah, he finds this Neverland, and yeah, things happen after that. This one might be at the top of the pile because it sounded interesting at the time I read it, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know how interesting it is. I'm kind of getting burnt out on coming of age, to be honest, because I've been writing it a lot, and I had that September. I read most of the September. I read Fear by Ronald Kelly, which is going magnificently. It's gonna be. I'm gonna continue on it as soon as I finish Hellbound Heart and probably a few anthologies. Hopping right back onto Fear by Ronald Kelly because it's such a good book. It's probably one of my favorite books. Right now it's a 5-star read so far, but we'll see what happens in the end. A bad ending will ruin a whole book, so I know a lot of people might understand what I'm saying by that. Like, like some endings make the book, some endings like ruin the whole book. So like Traveling Vampire Show, I thought the ending like made the book great, Like I had fun reading all the way up to the ending, but the ending made it a 5-star read for me because I just did not see that coming, and there was no hints to drop about it, just kind of like a jump scene, like it just kind of came out of nowhere. So, oh, and at the end of the video, I'll talk about some of the books that I actually finished so far for this TBR. I actually read one coming of age book in the October, so we'll get to that in a second. But this is the book I'm going to probably drop from this TBR, and that's Shadowland by Peter Straub. It's about two kids who are apprentices to a magician, and they're basically fighting to be a magician. It sounds like a fantasy. It doesn't really sound horror, so I think I'm going to bump it off the list. But it's on the list for now. It might get bumped off, though. And this last but definitely not least, this might be the next book. I keep saying that this is at the top of the list. It might be the next one. This might be the next one because I love werewolf books. The Howling is one of my favorite books. Like if I listed my favorite books, I think The Howling would be like number 7. So that's how high up the list it is for me. I just love werewolf books. I never read a vampire book yet. In fact, starting in January, I believe, it depends on where I'm at with my reading, I'm probably going to start Salem's Lot by Stephen King, which I'm a little excited for. December, I've already made, where I'm in a group right now, and we're going to read Nosferatu by Joe Hill. So that should be fun. I'm hoping to finish everything I need to finish in November. Like, I want to finish Hellbound Heart. I want to finish Fear for sure. Mr. Glowbones and Other Halloween Stories needs to be finished soon, like very soon. I don't know if I'm going to start Hellbound Heart next or if I'm going to continue with Mr. Glowbones and Other Halloween Stories, but I feel like Ronald Kelly's stories have deserved to be finished, because his stories are so good. Like Mr. Pillingrade, I don't know how to say his name. Mr. Pillingrade Pit, I think it's called. The Pillingrade Pit and Mr. Glowbones. Those two short stories are just phenomenal. I enjoyed those two stories a lot. Everything else has kind of been a little bit forgettable. But those two short stories have a place in my mind at the moment. I loved them. Mr. Glowbones was amazing. I'm not gonna say too much about it. Yeah. But back to this. I got a little bit off topic. I love werewolf books and I love coming of age stories. So Stephen Graham Jones's Mongrels might be the perfect book for me. And the cool thing about this is, I believe it's from a Native American background. So you get you get to learn how it feels to be in like a what do you call it? Not congregation, but I can't think of the word at the moment. But to be a part of a I don't want to say tribe per se, but there's a certain word for it, and I know I can't remember what it is. But basically, this group of people, or Native Americans, can turn into werewolves. I think that's what it is, and this is them trying to fit into society and stuff like that. I'm not really sure. I don't want to know much about this book, so I want to go in there a little surprised. This book comes in. Oh, and I hear great things about Stephen Graham Jones, so very excited to give him a shot. This book comes in at almost 300. It's 297 pages. So this book is probably next. If I'm going to be honest, this book is going to be after Fear in the coming of age TBR. So yeah. And let's talk about the books that I have finished so far in this TBR. I have finished The Traveling Vampire Show. I have finished Boy's Life by Robert R. McCammon. The other one's Richard Lehman. I finished Dan Simmons' Summer of Night. I finished The October Boy by Adam Millard. I finished Brian Keene's Ghoul. And there's one more I finished, but I'm forgetting at the moment because there was 6 on my list. And I'm only naming 5. So let me look at my list real quick. Nope, wrong one. The Troop by Nick Cutter. Now, I don't know if you want to call that a coming of age, but it's about these Boy Scouts who get trapped on an island with a guy with a certain disease. So, yeah, I think it's a coming of age book. The turtle scene, sea turtle scene, was very graphic, disturbing, and in the end, it didn't serve any purpose. But I liked it a lot because it really gave the characters, it made the characters, you felt for the characters. At the same time, you did not like them at that very moment, but you understand. I mean, they strung a lot of emotions out of me. So I really liked The Troop by Nick Cutter. Those 6 books are the books I've read so far. Trying to think if there's anything else I've read so far. If there is, I'm not remembering or recalling at this time. I can't think of anything. But Fear by Ronald Kelly is what I'm currently reading in the TBR. I am taking a break still from the TBR. I feel like reading a 5-star read, and it's supposed to be a quick read, so I want to get it out of the way. Not out of the way because I want to enjoy it, but I also want to get it read it, And Mr. Glowbones and Other Halloween Stories deserves to be finished, so those 2 stories I'm probably going to try to read first, and then I'll hop back into Fear. Then probably, I'm not going to be like 100% with y'all, but probably Stephen Graham Jones' Mongrels will be after Fear. So that's kind of the order I have. I also will have some anthologies I'm going to be reading. So I'm going to like be picking and choosing some anthology stories. So I can get a feel on what it is like to write supernatural horror, because I need to learn more about it and I need to read more about it. So yeah, this is my coming of age update. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have a spooky night and a spooky day. I just burped. I burp in every video. I'm sorry, but I hope you have a spooky night, a spooky day, and I will see you in the next video.